Hello students, this is Professor Chalai, and in this video we're going to look at derived units. As always, you can follow along using our chapter worksheets. Now so far we've looked at converting simple units like length, like temperature, like mass, from different units, from one unit of measurement into another. For example, from the English unit of measurement into the metric or SI unit. Now let's look at derived units. And derived units are simply units that are made up of of simpler units. For example, volume, which we've looked at, usually measured in liters in metric, is actually made up of three different length units. Because the volume of, for example, a cube is its length by its breadth by its width, which is, let's say, if we measure each of those in meters, it'll be meters by meters by meters, or meters cubed. And so volume is one of those that is made up of many simpler units. For volume, we can measure in meters cubed or centimeters cubed or liters as a metric unit. Speed is another one of those derived units. It's measured, it's units of distance over time. If we measure distance in meters and time in seconds, then the units for speed or velocity would be meters per second. Density is mass over volume. So if we measure mass in kilograms and volume in meters cubed, it will be kilograms per meters cubed. More typically in chemistry, we measure mass in grams and the volume will be in centimeters cubed or milliliters. Force is mass times acceleration. Energy is force times distance. Those are all examples of derived units. It's made up of multiple types of simpler units. And so converting these are a little bit more complex, but not very much so than simple units. For example, let's look at number 16. The speed of a car going 100 miles per hour. How do we convert this to kilometers per hour? We know that 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers. Well, let's look at this. So we have 100 miles per hour, right? Miles per hour, distance over time, distance in miles, time in hours. And we want to convert this into kilometers per hour. So really, all we need to do is convert miles to kilometers because the denominator should still be per hour. So let's figure out how to do that. And to do that, to convert miles into kilometers, we just use our little conversion right here. 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers. So we can use this factor. 1 mile is equal to 1.609 kilometers, and keep miles on the bottom, 1 mile, such that the miles cancel out. We have 1.609 kilometers. And so if we just multiply that, we get 160.9 kilometers per hour. The hour didn't change. It's still there in the denominator because we didn't change it. And so that is our answer. In converting derived units, we just focus on one unit at a time. We recognize that derived units are made up of many different simpler units, but we focus on one of the simpler units at a time if we can. Let's look at number 17. And if you think you know how to handle this question, you can pause, try to work it out on your own, and then come back and look at the answer and see how well you did. But number 17 says that Usain Bolt, the Jamaican speedster, can run 100 meters in 9.58 seconds. What is this in miles per hour, which is what we're accustomed to with cars and the like? So we know that Usain Bolt, the speed he runs is 100 meters in 9.58 seconds. So that's the speed. Its distance, 100 meters in over time, 9.58 seconds. But we want these in miles per hour. So if we're focusing on one unit at a time, we need to find a way to convert meters to miles and seconds to hour. So let's just look at meters to miles to begin with. And I've erased some of the units that I didn't intend to. Okay. Now, we might not know the conversion of meters to miles, but what we do know from the table all the way up here is that 1 mile, there's our table. is that 1 mile is 1.6093 kilometers. So 1 mile is 1.609. Let's just use for 3 decimal places, kilometers. So let's write that down. So 1 mile is equal to 1.609 meters. Kilometers. There we go. And we should be able to convert from meters to kilometers because we know that 1,000 meters is 1 kilometer. So let's first convert meters to kilometers using this conversion, and then kilometers to miles using this conversion. So to convert from meters to kilometers, we just need to multiply by this. Make sure we keep meters on the bottom. So we have 1,000 meters is 1 kilometer, such that meters cancel out nicely. And then let's use this equality here to convert from kilometers to miles. We know that 1.609 kilometers is 1 mile, so that we convert the kilometers cancel out. So this gets us from meters to miles. What about seconds to hours? Well, you may not know how many seconds there are in an hour, but you may know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. And you may also know that there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. So we can use those to convert from seconds to minute. Seconds is in the denominator here, so we need to put it in the numerator. We use this conversion. 60 seconds is the same as 1 minute. So the seconds cancel out nicely. And then we can convert from minutes to hours using this conversion. Minutes is in the bottom, so we need to put it in the top to cancel out. So 60 minutes over 1 hour, minutes cancel out. So if we run this through, we see that we've converted meters into miles, which is what we need in our answer. And we've converted seconds into hours, which we also need in our answer. So if we just plug all of these into a calculator, and let's do the numerator first. It's 100 times 1 times 1 times 60 times 60. So it's 100 times 1 times 1 times 60 times 60 divided by 9.58 times 1,000 times 1.609 times 1 times 1. So 9.58 times 1,000 times 1.609. And that gives us about 23.4 miles per hour. Which seems very reasonable, but also pretty slow. I mean, 23.4 miles per hour in a car seems very slow. But that's the speed of Mr. Usain Bolt, the world record for 100 meters. Try this for his speed, his time in the 200 meters, and let me know what you get. If you have struggles, if you struggle with it, you can find me in office hours and we can go over it together. Or you can send me an email. Okay, let's do some different ones. Let's look at density. Density here is given in terms of pound per cubic feet. Remember, density is another one of those derived units, and it's mass over volume. So in this case, they use mass they measured mass using units of pounds, and they measured volume using units of feet cubed. So we want to convert 1 pound per cubic feet into grams per milliliters, which is more commonly used in chemistry. Pause the video here, try to work this one out on your own using the conversions that you already know, and then unpause and we can go over it together. Okay, so here we're going to again convert 1 unit at a time, focus on 1 unit at a time. Let's focus on pounds to grams first. And let's look at the conversions that we already know for pounds to grams. All the way up here. So for mass, we know that 1 pound is 453.59 grams. So let's use that. Here we go. We know that 1 pound is 453.59 grams. So let's use that. So 1 pound per cubic feet times, we put pounds in the bottom. 1 pound is 453.59 grams, such that the pounds cancel out, will get us from pounds to grams. Now we need to get from feet cubed into milliliters. Now this one's a little bit tricky. We should know, let's use a different color here, that 1 centimeter cube is the same as 1 milliliter. Those two things are the same. They're just different units. So that can help us out a little bit. But we need to go from feet cubed all the way to milliliters. But we can go from feet cubed to centimeter cube. How many centimeters are in a foot? Well, let's look at our conversions if we have them memorized. We may not know how many centimeters are in a foot, but we know that there are 12 inches in a foot, and there are 2.54 centimeters in each inch. So let's use those. Here we go. So we know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. We also know that there are, for every 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. So let's use these. Let's convert feet cubed into first inches cubed using this conversion. All right, we put feet on the bottom. There's 1 foot is 12 inches. But this is feet cubed, so we need to cube the whole thing. Okay, so by cubing the whole thing, we get feet cubed, which can cancel out nicely. Now we need to convert from inches cubed, because that's the remaining units here, to centimeters cubed. And we're using this conversion. We need to put inches on top. We know that 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. But again, we need inches cubed to centimeters cubed, not inches to centimeters, so we need to cube the whole thing. So inches cubed here cancel out with inches cubed over there. And then finally, we need to convert from centimeters cubed to milliliters, and the ratio there is just 1 to 1. So 1 centimeter cube is 1 milliliter. Centimeter cube is already cubed here, so we don't need to cube anything. The centimeter cubed cancel out with the centimeter cube here. Okay, so now all we need to do is to punch these numbers in our calculator. So to summarize, we convert pounds to grams by using that conversion. Then we convert feet cubed to inches cubed to centimeters cubed to milliliters. We punch all of these numbers in our calculator, so that's 453.59 times 1 cubed times 1 cubed on top, divided by 1 times 1 times 12 cubed. Remember, cube is important, so divide by 12 cubed times 2.54 cubed. So times 2.54 cubed times 1 is equal to, comes out to be 0.016 grams per milliliter, right? Milliliter is the remaining units for our denominator, grams is the remaining units for our numerator. So there's our answer. We just focused on 1 unit at a time. We focused on pounds to grams first, then feet cubed to milliliters second. All right, if you have any questions on any of these, please send me an email or stop by our office hours. There are many more questions like these in our skills practice section towards the end of this worksheet for you to try on your own and become more proficient with them. Like I said, try number 19 on your own, see what you get to, and let me know. I will see you in the next lecture. Bye.